exercises. You'll spend a few minutes just doing your own little warm-up. Everyone should be, you know, I agree with Tom. I don't do stuff, I don't warm up, I just start doing stuff. But at the same time, if you just start doing stuff at 110% capacity, ballistically right away, you're going to injure yourself. So not warming up isn't the same as, you know, starting off intelligently, but starting right into the activity. Okay? So when we start doing this stuff, you know, don't crank your hardest, you know, shot at the guy or your hardest tackle, and you're going to work through things. What I would like people to do is you're going to start off just with a mirror drill. Has everyone seen the mirror drill on videotape? Okay? Remember when you're doing your mirror drill, when you're doing your mirror drill, the common flaws on the mirror drill are people pushing away at each other, so they're like this, and they end up doing this sort of thing. Okay? So what you want to do with the mirror drill is stand in a nonviolent posture as if the person walked right in and you went, hey, take it easy. And now he's going to put his hands on your hands. You're not going to stand and blade, you're going to stand here. Does everyone as instructors? There's a couple of things, and Ron and I were just talking about, you know, do you introduce people to, you force a scenario that forces an introduction to a method? Or do you know, explain, articulate, get academic about a method, and then do a scenario? Because if the class goes to sleep going, shut up, let's do a drill, then when it comes time to do the drill, have they, kind of like what Tom was talking about, have they already exhausted themselves? Are they burnt out? So, well, you know, and Jake explained this. He said, you know, I'm dealing with students who, didn't occur to me when I came in. I went in there and I'm like, I want to be, you know, mini Anthony Robbins, mini Tony. I'm going to lecture and motivate and gesture. And they just finished 7 hours of lecture. They didn't give a shit about me. They wanted to learn how to headbutt somebody. But it took some trial and error until what he realized was these guys wanted to do a little bit of this, and then when something failed or something succeeded, someone said, why'd that happen? You go, well, that's the 90-degree rule. Okay? Ron was sharing a similar experience where when he said, I put guys in the gear, I made them do shit. I said, okay, the guy's going to try and hit you, and you're going to do some verbal. So this guy has no training. He's like this. Sean goes to hit me, and the guy goes, here, and he gets knocked back. And Ron says, remember I told you, if you move forward, that's not going to happen. So the guy's like, what the fuck? Guy goes to hit him, and he goes, ugh, and he does this. And he goes, well, how come my arm collapsed? Or how come he knocked back? Or this guy goes, why'd that hurt me so much? And you go, well, that's the spear. What's a spear? Spear. I didn't tell you about the acronym? No, what's it? Suddenly the guy's eating out of your hand. Okay? So you need to be clever in how you introduce it. But, you know, one of my things is this, and I've often said to the guys who are being groomed to teach under me that you're better teachers than I am because I have too many ideas, too much information. Also, 200 seminar days a year, I'm training trainers. And there's a different objective for me. I don't consider myself a good lead instructor anymore in the capacity that I want many of you to be, where you're coming out there and creating a visceral experience for people as quickly as possible. I've got a moral and a legal responsibility to make sure that you regurgitate the information exactly, correctly, so that if something happens, somebody goes, what happened? We always want it to be the end user's fault, not the instructor's fault or the manual's fault or the fountainhead's fault. And so oftentimes I will over-explain, re-explain, under-explain, angle-explain, safety explain, and go around until we go, yeah, okay. And even you guys, you know, you're kinesthetic. Let's do it. Ready? Hold on a sec. One more thing. Okay, get in your stance. Okay, ready? You know, and I do that because I got 1,000 ideas. You all know that I don't keep talking because I forgot where I am. I mean, it's the information has value. But when you do that, and that's one of the things about the intellectual capital of a team, it's you know, when you email Dave or Ron or Tom, hey, I got this presentation coming up. Any quick tips? Don't talk too much. You know? So bear in mind that my challenge is making sure you practice it properly so there are no injuries, and when you leave here, it's transmitted properly. Your job is then to interpret all that and cut all of the expert level, the analytical stuff, and just say, hey, this is visceral. This is what you do. I'm going to show you a new system, but before you do that, I want to see what happens when this happens. So get in front of your partner, have your partner try and tackle you. You're not allowed to sprawl, you're not allowed to guillotine, you're not allowed to sidestep, no Aikido. All you got to do is stop the guy. What? Okay, I got to stop the guy. Sean, tackle me. Okay, good. You know, and you go from there. So, and then you start to evolve that into what is the spear, what is not the spear. Okay. Questions about that? Does that make sense? Now, from here, mirror drill. So what you're going to do is this. From this position, you're either going to do a haymaker, and you're going to replicate a haymaker, guys, into a short hook punch. Okay? The short hook punch is going to mutate into a headlock. And the reason we do the headlock is because a headlock, if I can get a headlock on Sean, I can hit him with a short hook punch. And if I can hit him with the headlock and the short hook punch, I can hit him. If we can learn the primal or protective flinch out of that position, then what we can do is build on the system. One of the most important things that you need to remember is you don't have to do the tactical spear right away. The system will protect you, whether it's a duck or a flinch or whatever. So the headlock, don't move, the headlock will look like this. I don't want to see people going like this and going, got you. Because if a guy hits me like that, I'm going to go, hey, I'm going to kick your ass now. You know, because that's nothing. What we want is replicating in the headlock the short hook punch. Don't move. The short hook punch would be from here, boom, right? There'd be hip, there'd be leg, there'd be lunge. So I do the headlock the same way. I'm here and I'm snapping around, so he's picking up pre-contact cues. He's starting to read that shit. When I do the tackle, I don't do this. I don't go, because we're not going to stand here going, so you want to fight? You know, like, we're not going to be doing that. So I can't grab his hand and lift him. So sometimes you'll have a guy who's doing wrestling moves, and he'll do some sort of, like, you know, snatch pat, and he's inside. People don't do that in street fights. People do that in maybe Valley Tudo fights, because as a sport, they're acclimated to that sort of shit. They're wrestling. Does everyone see what I'm saying? What we want to do is we want the brawn and primal energy replicated, so you develop a pre-contact cue in the street. So the tackle from here will be, and if you don't want to get your face split open before we get the headgear on, decide in advance if you're going outside or inside, and then move that way. So for the purpose of demo for the tape, I'm going outside, okay? I go like this. I don't go here, because if he flinches, you see how the elbow forearm started to come up? And we've knocked people out and cut people open in drills like that, because what they do is they decide which way they're going once they start moving. I decide I'm going this way, and what I'm doing is I'm getting my head way the fuck away from that arm. So I'm standing here like this, and if it's my turn to try a tackle, I'm going here, and I'm coming in. Okay? Drop and shoot. Okay? Don't make it be a double leg perfect takedown. So the moves we're going to do is this. Two-hand lapel grab, up the middle or outside the arms. Okay? So from here, Sean's not going to move, so I'm either going, what did I do there? Did everyone see that big? Because nobody does this. People don't walk up to you and they go, I don't like your face. You know? People don't. I'm going to get you in a headlock. You know? There's a big buildup. There's that kinetic buildup. So it's like, hey, fuck you. Boom. If all of your training started here, then you don't do shit here. Even though intellectually you say, yeah, well, I would just hit him there. You don't have any training for that. So, you know, like Tom said, put the asterisk beside skill. You want skill to, as the guy pushes you, to go here like this and grab him and put him in the armbar. That's cute. Or do I want skill that as he pushes me, I'm going slam, and, you know, while he's puffing up like a big fat sheep to hit him there. Now he still might hit you and knock you back. That's why you practice fighting off balance. Okay, nothing works all the time, or we'd only have to practice one move. Now, so the moves are from here, don't move, lapel grab, headlock wide, don't move anything. The reason you don't move is I need to get around it, and wide and coming around. Get your face out of the way. Or from here, tackle. When you go for the tackle, guys, there's going to be arms moving out there, so some of you are going to get banged a little bit. It's called pain management. Get used to it. You know, if you can't take this little bump here, friggin' you should be teaching knitting or something, okay? You want to get a little stress inoculation there. And either side, out to the side. Don't do this. Don't go like this and go. Don't move. Don't go. And the reason I say that is that the first couple times you get shots in the radial and the bicep and the brachial, your body, because it's brilliant, moves away from pain, does this. So I'm going to tackle you, or I'll do one of the moves, and you just friggin', well, for the purpose of demo, so I don't get my head knocked off, I'm going to go for a headlock, and you're going to do spear or half spear. So I go like this, and I go, and I'm in here like this. Now Sean completely freaked and got the grab on there, which means I'd have hit him. But hopefully I broke my hand or didn't knock him out and the fight is on and we're over here. Okay? Do it again. Do the spear or half spear. Sean was demonstrating what you do prior to any training. Now he's going to demonstrate what you do with training. So we're here like this. I move in and I'm here like that and he gets jammed. I get jammed here. This is what we want, okay? For him to reposition. Because he started off at a normal platform, he then said, whoa, lost his balance a bit, and then stepped in and took control of the fight. Okay? But what this is warming up that very, very precise pre-contact cue. You want to get to the point where you're like this, okay? Sean does a headlock to me, where I'm doing that. Look how subtle my motion is. Again, faster, harder, okay? Either hand. So I can be like this, hold on a second, you're leaning against me. Nonviolent posture. My eyes are closed, go. And I'm just doing this. I don't need, now what's the big deal there? That's just to teach me that your tactile sense is that accurate. I'm not going to fight with my eyes closed. Why would I? Okay? But low light condition, you're touching a guy, you've grabbed him. These are important drills. Okay? What you'll do is the headlock, watch out for accidental headbutts. When the guy goes to tackle you, if we're here like this, come in with a tackle, when he comes in to tackle, decide which way you're going, look at the angle I have. So Sean, move away from me. Move away, move away, move away. Where am I? Okay? And it's not because I'm trying to hit this position, it's because this is an athletic